Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? Maho just kept running. She had no idea what was going on, but from the way Okabe had been acting and the gunshots she'd heard, something really bad was going on. She prayed for Okabe and Mayuri's safety as she ran toward Faris's condo. I need to tell everyone! If she could just get there, she could find Faris, Kuroki, and Moeka. Maybe they could do something. But just before she reached the building, she saw the black van from before coming down the street. She quickly turned around. She was starting to lose hope. If that van was still moving around, had Okabe and the others been captured? And now they were looking for her? No, that can't be! She felt herself starting to cry as she raced for the station. But she didn't know what to do once she got to the station. She needed to find the police, but she didn't know where the police station or police boxes were. Should she ask one of the people around the station or the station staff for help? What do I do? I need to calm down. Must be something I can do. Her mind was racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour and she needed to calm it down. And then she realized. That's right! The phone! Why didn't I think of this sooner? She searched the pockets of her clothes for her smartphone. And then just in case she checked her bag. But she couldn't find it in either place. Why? They were back. It was the same black van. It was driving around this area searching for her. Hide amongst the people. No one will see you, Maho. She quickly hid behind a nearby coin-operated locker. Why? Where did my phone go? Did she drop it when she was running? She retraced her steps before she'd left. Oh. And then she realized she'd been talking with Okabe just before she left the condo. After she'd lied about having to make a call, Okabe brought her the phone. And then she'd left it on the desk. It was probably still there. Oh, no. Now I'm screwed. She would have to get the police somehow. Maybe she could run into one of the stores. Several of them were still open. The best option were probably to get to the station or Yodobashi. But the problem was the black van. It was still going around looking for her. If she moved, it might find her. She tried to make herself as small as possible and hide behind a telephone pole. If everyone else is safe. Suddenly, a hand reached out from behind her and across her mouth. Someone had grabbed her from behind. She tried to yell and rip it off, but the hand wouldn't move at all. She couldn't even move her head. All she could tell is that it was a man's hand. Maho was starting to get ticked off at how ridiculous all of this was. So she summoned every ounce of strength she could and mustered and slammed her elbow into the man behind her. Take this! Oops. She heard a small scream and she was finally released. God damn it, Leskanin, why'd you have to find me now? But she thought she knew that scream. Professor? Shh. Shh.
Oh, yeah, Maho.
Hey there, Maho. It was Dr. Leskinen. He was holding his solar plexus as if in great pain, but he smiled at her. So you know self-defense. I'm impressed. What are you doing here? Probably the same as you. I was enjoying dinner with Mr. Izaki until just a moment ago. We decided to end the night by going to a maid bar when we were attacked by armed men. Okay, so if that's the case, why would it be Reyes? Me too! I thought so. We can assume that there are the same people behind the gas leak at our office and the raid on your hotel. They might be after Amadeus and the control keys I've got. I see. Well, what do we do now? He thought for a moment as he caught his breath. Evidently, the pain from Maho's elbow was receding. Can you access Amadeus right now? No, I've left my phone at home. No, I didn't bring my phone. Okay, and let's go to the office. The new office? Leskinen nodded. If we didn't know what they were after, there would be nothing we could do. But if they're after Amadeus, that makes things much simpler. We'll delete the access program for Amadeus that exists on the university network. And as soon as that's done, it'll be back to the States. We'll get you some protection. And then there's nothing they can do. But... is there a problem? The professor's attitude was a little different from usual, and Maho found herself unable to say a word. His plan was the best she could think of. They would delete the only way to access Amadeus from within Japan, and then get Maho and her control keys to safety. The only reason she was hesitating was simple sentimentality. She hadn't been here for long, but she'd enjoyed spending time with Okabe and Moeka. She didn't want to leave without saying goodbye. But she couldn't help it. Alright, let's go. There was no one in Tokyo Denki University office. She'd worried that the attackers might be waiting for her, but evidently she'd been worried over nothing.
We did it!
That we did, Leskinen. That we did. I guess they didn't know. I guess they didn't get here before we did. What's wrong? Oh, no. You're right. We were lucky. They'd been very lucky. So lucky, in fact, that she was actually feeling quite nervous. If they were after Amadeus, wouldn't they have come here first? This was only a temporary office that had been picked a few days ago. Maybe they didn't know about it yet. It's not a good idea to overthink things, huh? Maho, let's hurry. I'll let you do it. Okay. She quickly booted up her laptop and opened the login screen. Once again, her mind was drawn to the account name on the screen. Salieri. Maho? The professor noticed her hands had stopped and urged her on. If it's difficult, do you want me to do it? He must have thought she was still upset over the attack. But she shook her head and got to work. Sorry, I was just thinking. The past few days, I've been thinking about Kurisu and I. As she typed to the keys, she explained things to Dr. Leskinen. When I saw my username, I remembered that. To me, she was Amadeus. Kurisu was Mozart? I see. In other words, you were her Salieri. Yes. That reminds me. Kurisu once said the exact same thing. What? Kurisu did? When? One day when I heard that Amadeus meant beloved of God, I said this to Kurisu. You really are Amadeus. And then she smiled and said this to me. If I'm Amadeus, then Maho's Salieri. Kurisu said that? That's right. Kurisu. Maho's mind went blank. Kurisu had said that? What did she mean? Maho? Are you okay? You look pale. No, I'm fine. I'll keep working. Maho felt a tempest raging within her mind. But for now, she needed to focus on the work in front of her. She could focus later. I've logged in. You ready? Maho didn't look up from the screen. Yeah. Dr. Leskinen didn't hesitate at all. We're not deleting the real Amadeus. Let's finish this up. Yeah. I'm temporarily deleting the access program for Amadeus' systems. God damn it, Reyes! I recognize that voice, I'm pretty sure. There's no need for that. Huh? She heard a voice from the entrance of the room, and then a bang. Oh shit! He actually shot Leskinen! Oh god, this ain't good. Professor! By the time Maho looked up, it was all over. Dr. Leskinen was lying on the sofa. He wasn't moving at all. She could see a blood stain spreading over his clothes. She didn't need to check. He was dead. What did you... Don't move. Dr. Reyes? It's been a while, Maho. What? How? It'll be a long story, and one that I'm not interested in telling. If you knew everything, I'd have to kill you. Dr. Reyes pointed the gun at Maho and smiled. You know what I mean, right? It means there's a way to avoid you killing me, doesn't it? I love smart little girls. The system finally booted, and Kurisu appeared on the screen. Oh? What's wrong? Kurisu was extremely perceptive. She could tell that something was wrong just by looking at Maho's face. Dr. Reyes simply smiled. Maho kept staring at the gun as she answered. I'm in big trouble. Tell her what's going on. What? Is that Dr. Reyes? Yes, that's right. Maho spun the laptop around on the table so that Kurisu could see the entrance. Dr. Reyes! That gun!
レスキネン教授が殺されたわ。
Dr. Leskinen was killed.
この女にね。
She shot him.
そんな。
What? Kurisu was too shocked to speak.
レイエス教授。
Dr. Reyes,
自分が何をやってい
do
る
you
の
know
か
what you're
分
doing?
かっているの。あなたのこれまでのキャリアが。
Your career is ruined, do you know that?
大学の給料では
I don't think I can pay for my retirement on a professor's salary.
ほら、私って
You know I'm having trouble finding a man, right?
だから
So I decided to take the
もっと稼げ
better
るところに
paying
転職し
job.
たってわけ。
That was enough for Maho to understand what Reyes was after.
あなた。
You're trying to use Amadeus for military purposes, aren't you?
答えないわよ。
I'm not answering that.
言ったでしょ。
I told you.
すべてを知った
If
ら
you knew the whole
あなたを
truth, I'd have
殺さ
to
な
kill
けれ
you.
ばならなくなる。
レスキネン教授を殺しておき
How
ながら。
could you say that when you just killed Dr.
そんなこ
Leskinen?
とが言えるわね。
必要なのは制御コ
I
ード
just
よ。
need the control keys.
今の状態では、たとえデータを丸
Even
ご
if I
と
were
コピ
to
ーしたと
copy
して
her
も
complete data right now, this bratty little AI won't do what I tell her, will she?
生意気。
Bratty?
それ。
You mean me?
これでもマイルドに表
That's
現
the
したつもりよ
nicest way of putting it. You're taunting an AI. You do realize that, Reyes.
さあ、マホ。
Okay,
ク
Maho.
リスが隠し持っている
Unlock
秘密
Kurisu's
の日記
secret
の鍵を
diary.
開けなさい。わかるわよね。
You know what I
制御
mean,
コードを
right?
入力するの。
Input the control keys.
アマデウスの不可侵領域ストレージに
Unlock Amadeus's inaccessible storage data and give me administrative access.
そこまでやってくれたら
Once you've done that, I can do the rest myself.
断ったら。
And if I refuse,
今すぐに
you get to see the professor again. Reyes waved the gun a little from side to side and pointed to Dr. Leskinen's body on the sofa.
私が制御コードを打ち込んだ直後に。
And what's to stop you from pulling the trigger after I give you the control keys?
信頼してもらうしかない
You'll just have to trust me.
ただ
But let me say this.
ならできる今の私のボスは
My boss needs someone to
アマデウスの
maintain
メンテナン
Amadeus.
スを必要としているあなたが転職する
If
つ
you're
もり
thinking
が
of
ある
changing
なら
jobs,
紹
I can
介してあげてもいい
introduce you.
わ
Maho glanced back at the laptop. Kurisu was staring at her, worried.
先輩。
Maho,
さあ
now,
早くなさい
hurry up.
先輩。
Maho!
分かったわ。
All right.
先輩。
Maho!
クリス。
Kurisu,
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry. Maho closed her eyes and started to sing.
ラララララララララ。
Mozart again.
ララララララララ。
わあ
Wolf!
アマデウスの制御コードがモーツァルトの
So
メ
the
ロディー
control
だ
key
なん
for
て
Amadeus is a Mozart
随分
melody,
洒落
huh?
てるじゃない
Classy.
ラララララララララララララララララ。
It happened as soon as she finished singing. The expression disappeared from Kurisu's face, and the background on the display turned red.
正門確認。確認完了。
Initiating voice recognition. Recognition complete.
最高管理権限保持者。
User identified as top-level administrator Maho Hiojo.
受信したメロディーコードをデ
The
ータベー
received
スと
melody
照合
code
しま
will
す。
now be matched with the database.
照合確認。
Initiating
確認
match.
完了。
Match complete.
当該メロディーコードは第
The identified
555
melody
バッチ
code
コマンドの
is the
起動
instruction
命
to
令です。
initiate patch command 555.
第555バッチコマン
Patch
ドは
command 555 requires password entry from a top-level administrator.
入力確認。
Initiating password confirmation. Password confirmation complete.
This override code will allow for the password entry to be skipped and the patch to be applied. Initiating boot up. Boot up complete. This patch will unlock the inaccessible storage for Amadeus, as well as allow a new top-level administrator to be specified. Continuing processing. All access to Amadeus except for this terminal will be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. All access to Amadeus except for this terminal have been shut down. Continuing processing. All executing processes will now be shut down. A 10-nerve circuit logic will be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. Prefrontal cortex emulation component will now be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. Hippocampal gyrus neural net subsystem will be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete. Pseudo-optic nerve circuit systems 1 and 2 will now be shut down. Initiating shutdown. Shutdown complete.
Jesus Christ, how many fucking circuits do you run on this damn thing?
Pseudo-oral nerve circuit system will be shut down.
Kurisu read the messages in an emotionless voice at the same time as they flashed across this console.
Initiating check. Check complete. Amadeus' core framework is ready to be restarted. Continuing processing. Next, please specify the new top-level administrator. Awaiting entry.
Maho looked at Reyes.
It's me. Initiating voice recognition. Recognition complete. Professor of Psychophysiology at Victor-Condria University, Dr. Judy Reyes. Registering a new top-level administrator. Initiating registration. Registration complete. Administrator list has been updated.
Calm down, Reyes.
The Amadeus system must be updated to allow access to the inaccessible area. Warning. All access will be automatically shut down until the update is complete. Warning. This update may not be cancelled. Warning. It will take approximately 15 minutes for the update to complete. Warning. When the update is complete, the system will automatically reboot. Warning complete. Continuing processing. All conditions confirmations complete. Continuing processing. All preparations complete for the updating of the Amadeus system. Awaiting final confirmation from top-level administrator. Go. Matching voice command. Match complete. Beginning countdown.
Kurisu disappeared from the screen and was replaced with a timer reading 15 minutes. Maho sighed and sank into the sofa.
Good work.
She felt something cold and hard at her temple. She didn't need to look to see what it was. Reyes was pointing a gun at her.
Take your hands off the keyboard and put them above your head. You tricked me, didn't you? Don't be like that. Come on, hands above your head.
Maho slowly raised her hands above her head as she was told.
Yes, that's right. I'll keep my promise and introduce you to my boss. I'll tell them I've got a perfect girl to be Amadeus's maintainer. And then you know what they'll say? Come on, Judy, it doesn't matter how good she is. Dead girls can't write code. You... Do you not have any conscience at all? Huh. I want to hear that from a girl who tried to hand over Amadeus to save her own worthless life. Oh no! Not tried. You already did, didn't you?
再起動後のアマデウスの
Once the
管理
reboot is
権限
complete,
は私に
Amadeus is
ある
mine. Kurisu will be my
私の
slave.
従順なしもべと化す魔
Oh,
法クリスが私
you
の
can look down from
靴を
heaven
喜
and
んで
watch
舐
as
め
he
る
happily
姿を
licks my
天国
boots.
でのんびり眺めてなさい
God, I knew I didn't like Reyes from the start, but here we are now. It was all over then. Maho slowly closed her eyes.
さ
Now pray.
あ祈りなさい
Maho squeezed her eyes tight and prayed.
お願い
Please, God.
この子に及んで神頼みなんて
I know that you're probably mad that I'm asking you for help after all this, but
私にチャンスをく
give
だ
me
さ
a
い
chance.
And then she heard the sound of a door being flung open and opened her eyes. The door that led out to the hallway was now open. But no one was coming in.
誰も入るなと言ったはずよ
I told you not to let anyone in! Reyes was angry, but there was no answer. Huh? Reyes raised the gun at Maho's temples just a little bit suspicious. Then something came flying in from the hallway. She took a step back without thinking. There was no sign of it exploding.
何これ
What is this?
It was a large dark green and shaped like a tank for carrying liquids. I don't know which future gadget this is, but Maho thought she'd seen it before. Been in the corner of that lab.
対戦車地雷
An anti-tank mine?
なんでこ
No,
んな
it's
も
just
の
a
が
replica, but why?
What? The next instant, white fog poured out of it and she couldn't see anything.
なんなのどう
What
だ
the heck? What's going on?
Someone appeared right in front of Maho.
こっち
This way.
桐生さん
Kiryu!
Moeka dragged Maho through the fog and out of the room. When she was finally able to see again, she could hardly believe her eyes.
人が
Those men!
There were men with guns lying on the floor. Were they with Reyes? She took a closer look and realized their outfits were similar to those in the men in the van.
大丈夫
It's
スタン
okay.
させただけ
I've just stunned them.
あなた一体
What are you?
説明している暇は
There's
な
no
い
time to explain.
今逃げることだけ
Now, we just need to get out of here.
こっち
This
エレベ
way.
ーターが停止させ
The
て
elevator's been shut.
階段で降り
We'll
る
take the stairs.
待って
But wait!
Maho ran after Moeka.
どうしてここに
What are you doing here?
岡部君
Kabe told me.
無事なの
Is he okay?
As they ran down the hallway, Moeka turned around and nodded silently.
岡部君経由でアマデウスから連絡が
Amadeus got in touch with me via Okabe.
ヒアジョスさんがここにい
He
るこ
told
と
me that you were here.
クリスが
Kurisu told you?
Just before they could run down the stairs, Moeka suddenly stopped. Maho barely avoided tripping as she quickly came to a halt. There were several footsteps coming up the stairs.
隠れて
Hide!
Deafening noise erupted as the wall above the stairs was filled with holes. It had been shot at, and those weren't ordinary guns. They were automatic weapons. Moeka readied her own weapon, preparing to fight. She leaned out for just a moment and fired. Counterattack came from below. Moeka yelled as she fired short bursts down the stairs.
What?
撃ったことは
Have you ever fired a gun?
練習でなら
Just in a range!
待って
Take this.
Moeka drew a handgun from her belt and offered it to Maho.
もし後ろから
Someone
誰
comes
か
from
来たら
behind, shoot them!
Moeka pressed the gun into Maho's hands and kept firing. It felt heavy. It was a cult government model. She'd fired it many times at the range. She held the grip with her right hand and flipped off the safety with her left. Then she tried to pull back the slide and realized that her hands were shaking. I mean, it's understandable, let's be real. It was no good. She was too scared to shoot. She knew it was pathetic, but she lowered the arm that was holding the gun. It was kill or be killed right now. She knew that, but she still couldn't do it. She wasn't brave enough to point a gun at someone. She didn't want to survive that badly.
クリスは
Kurisu?
クリスは
How was it for
どうだ
Kurisu?
ったんだろう
When she was facing death, did she still try to survive? Did she do whatever she could? I was reading that sentence and I'm like, that don't make sense. No, it does. I'm just stupid. Did she do whatever she could think of to cling to life? Maho was sure that she did. The Makase Kurisu she knew wouldn't have given up until the very end. But then why wasn't she still alive? It was something Maho had never thought about. And if Kurisu couldn't avoid death, how could she?
やっぱりサリエリは
I
サ
guess
リ
I
エリ
really
ね
am Salieri.
She didn't mean for Moeka to hear her.
私にできたのはせいぜいア
All
マ
I
デ
could
ウス
ever
に
do
嫉妬
was
す
be
るくらい
jealous
だ
of
ったわ
Amadeus.
She just wanted to put on a brave face at the very end.
頑張って背伸びして
I tried everything I could
なん
do
と
to
か
keep up
彼
with
女と一緒
her.
に歩こうとした
At the very least, when Dr. Reyes found her cold body, she could greet her with a smile.
でも
But I
全部無駄だ
couldn't.
った
You can't beat someone who's beloved by
神
God.
に愛された子に勝てるはずがなかったのよ
The gunfire stopped suddenly. Moeka was hiding and swapping out a cartridge. She glanced over at her.
違う
No,
サリエリは嫉妬なんか
Salieri wasn't
していなかっ
jealous.
た才能を持った人が
It's
自分以上
possible
の
for
才能を
someone
持っ
with
た
talent
人
to respect someone with even
尊敬すること
greater talent.
可能
Wow, Moeka gets it. Damn.
それはヒアジョさん
That
も同
goes
じは
for
ず
you, too.
サリエリがモーツァルトを毒殺したエ
Salieri
ピソード
poisoning
だって
Mozart was just a rumor at the time.
噂でしかない映画はその
The
噂
movie
を
that took the
脚
the
色
movie
したの
took that rumor and added to it.
来島さんが
That's what Kurishima said.
言ってたどうして
How did you?
ヒアジョさんが
I heard you talking to Okabe and wanted to know the truth for myself.
知りたくなったサリエリが
Did
Mozart
Salieri hate Mozart so
Kurishita
much that he
Yoda.
wanted to kill him?
憎んでいたのかでも
But
サリエリはモーツァルトに
I don't think Salieri was jealous of Mozart at all.
例えば
There's a letter that he wrote 2 months before Mozart died.
そこでサリエリは
In the letter, Salieri praises Mozart's magic flute opera highly.
大絶賛しているんです二人はお互いの
I think the two of them respected each other a lot.
たんですよモーツァルトも
Mozart
サリエリを
respected Salieri?
尊敬クリスは
Did
それを
Kurisu
知っ
know
ていた
that?
のかし
I
ら
wonder.
クリスが
Then when she said I was Salieri,
私のことをサリエリだって言ったのも
There was no way to know what she meant now. So it was up to Maho to decide what it meant.
クリス
Kurisu.
クリス
Kurisu.
先輩
Maho?
キリュウさん
Kiryu.
私
I have to go back.
戻らなあの子を
I have to save her.
クリスを
I have to save Kurisu.
Moeka nodded and threw down her gun. Then she took something that looked like a green soda can off her belt. Oh fuck! Did she bring grenades?
スタングレネード
Well, I mean, slightly better. It's only slightly.
目と耳
Close your eyes and ears.
What? Moeka threw it down the stairs before Maho could respond. She quickly covered her eyes and ears. And then she heard the boom. You're missing the key feature, which is the tinnitus that followed. Not gonna be that guy, but never mind. They snuck back to the office. Maho and Moeka quietly looked inside the open door. Reyes was still there, and the Amadeus reset counter was about to complete.
止めないと
We need to stop her.
待って
Wait!
Maho stopped Moeka before she could go in. She knew what was about to happen.
再起動が終了しました
Reboot
アマデウ
complete.
スシステム
Booting Amadeus system.
私がわかる
Do you know who I am, Kurisu?
Reyes began to talk to Kurisu. Her face was completely expressionless.
正門を称号ビクトル
Matching
コントリー
voice.
大学
Wrong voice. No, I'm not matching voice.
ジュディ
Matching
レイ
voice.
ス教授
Voice identified as Judy Reyes, Professor of
I always fall over this word.
Psychophysiology at Victor Crondrier University.
Yes!
Oh, I love it. I love the English.
私の権限を教えてくれる
Can you tell me the access rights?
レイエス教授はアマデウスシステムに
Dr.
対して
Reyes is a top-level administrator of the Amadeus system.
レイエス教授は
Dr. Reyes has full and complete access to all Amadeus-related information.
例外なく完全
Never gets better. No, it does get better. Never gets worse. Still funny as shit. Never mind.
早速だけどあなたの
Let's stop by making a backup of your inaccessible storage areas.
保存先のストレージを指定してく
Please
ださい
designate the safe folder.
Reyes took out a USB memory stick and put it into the laptop.
今挿した USB メモリの保存先
Save it to the USB I just plugged in.
コピーを開始します
Initiating file
42
copy.
秒お待ちください
Please wait 42 seconds.
Wow. That's a fast copy, I'm not gonna lie.
Yes!
Reyes' face was flushed with excitement. Moeka looked at her, eager to rush in, but Maho still shook her head.
転送が終了しました
File copy complete.
Reyes hurriedly moved to take out the USB memory stick. But,
なんて言うとでも思った
what? Are you being sassed by a computer? Damn, okay.
Did you really think I was going to say that?
Suddenly, Kurisu's mechanical, emotionless voice suddenly regained its humanity. And she was clearly pissed off.
What?
モーツァルトのメロディーが
A Mozart melody was the control key?
そんなわけな
How
かろ
dumb do you have to be to believe that?
本当に更新し
How
な
was
くちゃいけなか
Maho
った
supposed to
時
do updates at the lab
先輩
then?
の研究所で入力できないじゃないそんなことしたらきっと教
The
授が
professor will
デジタル
record it and
保存して
play it at every
パーティー
party.
のたびに再生するに決まってるもの
What?
Moeka's eyes were wide with surprise as well. Maho grinned at her. She'd known this the whole time.
そうでしょ
You're kidding me.
嘘なんかないわよ
Nope.
もちろん
Of course, there's not a single byte of data on that
1
USB
ビットだ
drive.
ってデータはコピーしてないから
そんな
But
でも
But all those system messages! Oh, those. I just made them up. None of them are real. You made them up?! Once Maho started singing, I knew what was up. She was trying to buy time. So I made it look like your plan was succeeding. Those system messages were just every bit of nonsense I could come up with.
Kurisu, master improv. That was it. Maho was worried, but Kurisu had figured it out. They'd known exactly what each other was thinking. She'd been a little amused by A10 nerve circuit logic, though. Where did you come up with that shit?
And why would I have to read the output when the console is right there? This isn't a sci-fi movie. How inefficient could you possibly get? Hey. Hey, how does it feel to know you got totally conned? Huh? How does it feel?
She about to punch a computer. Reyes grabbed the gun off the table and leveled it at the screen in anger. Yes, this will solve all of your problems, Reyes. Put a bullet through the PC. You goddamn AI! It was time. Maho nodded to Moeka, and they went in with their gun raised.
That's enough.
As Reyes turned around in surprise, Maho leveled the gun at her. Moeka had her gun too, which made it 2 against 1.
Reyes, give me the gun. Maho! Didn't you hear me? Give me the gun. Then put your hands above your head.
Reyes glared at her in rage, but slid the gun down to the table. Then she slowly put her hands above her head. Maho's gaze met Kurisu's for a moment. Their eyes met, exchanging a secret smile and a glance despite their emotionless mouths.
Did you kill all the men with me?
I don't know. How many did you bring? Moeka, what's your kill counter?
If you haven't, then you should hurry. I'll be here soon.
Reyes was right. The stun grenade had neutralized them, but it wouldn't last forever.
I'll watch outside.
Moeka headed for the door. Maho turned back to Reyes.
Tell all the men below to surrender. You're not plotting on killing me? I killed your favorite professor right in front of you, and yet you're going to let me live? Well, maybe you can't help it. You've never fired that gun, have you? I have 2! I fired 1 ton at the range last year. I knew it. You've only handled the old models. The newest ones have 2 safeties on them to prevent misfires. What?
Without thinking, Maho tilted the gun to see.
Hiyosho, no!
And that one instance was all it took.
Just kidding.
Reyes leapt on top of her and grabbed Maho's wrist. She couldn't aim like this. Maho struggled and tried to brush her off. But before she could, she felt an impact on her solar plexus. Reyes' fist was buried in her chest. The pain was so bad she doubled over. And Reyes took the gun.
The tables have turned!
Not gonna lie, it took everything in me to read that the correct way. I'm so used to saying, the turns have tabled. God damn it, I hate myself for that. She pointed the gun at Maho and turned her bloodshot gaze to the entrance of the room.
You! You're a rounder, right? Put down the weapon and come here!
Moeka put her gun on the ground and came back into the room.
Get on your knees and put your hands in the air.
Moeka didn't resist.
Good girl. Stay still until we're done talking. Move an inch and Maho's cerebral cortex is going to stop functioning.
Maho blamed herself. Her own stupidity put Moeka in danger too.
Okay, Maho. This is your last chance. Tell me the control code. No. Do you want to die? Shoot me. What? I said shoot me! Kurisu is my friend! She's my best friend in the world! I'm not going to give her to you! I'd rather die than see her lick your boots! I see. You've got guts. Alright. I'll give up on getting Amadeus then. Bye.
Maho gritted her teeth and prepared for death. Wait! What? If I tell you the control code, will you let Hyejo and me live? Yes, of course. I'm only after Amadeus. I have no reason to kill you. Don't let her trick or kill you! She's going to kill us either way! But Moeka didn't seem to hear her. She was too busy thinking about something. What was she going to do? Maho couldn't figure it out. Amadeus. There's the control code input.
Der
Alte? What? How do you know that? No way. Stop it, Kiryu! Control key confirmed. Shifting system to emergency mode. Executing patch program sacrificed by the control key. There will be no confirmations issued during processing. Please be careful when using this patch. Awaiting top-level administrator Maho Hyejo's orders to execute process. Awaiting top-level administrator Maho Hyejo's orders to execute process. I feel like we're just gonna go on with this until it happens. Yeah, we're literally just looping. Can we not? Amadeus's mechanical voice filled the room.
How?
Reyes's lips curled up into a grin.
Because you shouldn't underestimate the Rounder's ability to gather information. Okay, Maho. Say go. No. No. I can't. Say go, Hyejo. You need to, if you want to survive. Kiryu. I can't do it. Say it. I'm getting tired of this.
Maho.
Let me give you a little incentive, Maho. What?
Reyes turned the gun toward Moeka, and with no hesitation, she pulled the trigger. For God's sake, can we not start killing everyone off? I was just getting to like Moeka. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Moeka fell onto the floor with a bullet in her chest. Kiryu!
Oh dear, your friend's bleeding out. She'll die if she doesn't get treatment.
Not to be that asshole, but I think she's gonna die anyway. Moeka tried to say something to Maho, but all that came out of her mouth was blood.
Kiryu! Say it! And hurry! Kurisu. Go. Command received from top-level administrator Maho Hiejo. Executing patch program. This time, the patch will permanently delete all Amadeus-related data. Huh? This includes all memory data backups. Whoa! Locally stored decryption keys will be deleted and rendered inoperable as well. It will take 15 minutes to complete the deletion. Beginning deletion. Maho! What's going on? Why is the data being deleted? Control key was supposed to unlock the inaccessible storage area, right? There never was a way to open her secret diary. What? Of course not. Any idiot could figure out that Amadeus might be abused for military purposes. And I couldn't let that happen. So I made a part of Amadeus that could never be accessed from the outside, and surrounded it with an invincible wall. Even I, its designer, couldn't get over the wall. It's a wall with no entrances or exits. Invincible, right? But that's... But since we were using university funds to make it, I couldn't exactly tell them there was an area that was out of control. So I just told everyone else about the control keys. But the real purpose of the control keys was to delete every bit of Amadeus' resource data. In other words, the self-destruct button. I never thought I'd actually have to use it, though. That's everything. I don't have any other secrets. Are you satisfied? You! You little bitch!
Reyes put the gun right between Maho's eyes. Maho didn't look away.
You're not going to help, then you can just die! You goddamn rounder!
I was gonna say, the fact that Maho could still comprehend thought there is a good indicator that she wasn't the one being shot. Reyes fell to the floor. She'd been shot by the dying Moeka, who was still lying on the floor.
Kiryu!
Maho ran over and held her in her arms.
I'm so glad that you tried to live. Kiryu! What you told me before
You made me so happy.
嬉しかった。代わりがいる。
Someone could take your place.
自分より優れた人
Somebody's
がいる。
better than you.
それが
So
何
what?
っていうの。私は
Because I'm me,
私
not someone else.
ヒアジョーさんも
That goes for you, too.
マキセ・クリスは
Maho and Kurisu had nothing to do with it.
あなたは
Because you're you,
あなた
not her. Oh god. Why is it every Steins Gate Moeka's gotta die while I'm holding her? Why? Why does she always have a fucking redeeming arc just before it happens? Could have done without the boob shot though, I'm not gonna lie. The blood she coughed up dribbled down the top of her motorcycle suit. Kiryu! Hurry.
逃げて
Get away
誰か
before someone comes.
私は
Leave me.
置いていって何言ってるのよ
What are you saying? But it was obvious that Moeka couldn't move. Even if Maho got out of the building and got help, by the time she got back...
そうだ
I know. Maho leapt for the laptop on the table.
クリス
Kurisu!
車を呼んで
Call an ambulance! But Kurisu didn't move at all. Her data was already being deleted. I hate that fucking one where she clips into a negative for a moment. Jesus Christ, that's terrifying. Stop it! She would never go back to the Kurisu she'd been before. But that didn't stop Maho from trying to rely on her.
クリス
Kurisu!
動いて
Please!
ユウさんを
Move! Help Kiryu!
お願いよ
Please!
助けて
Help me!
クリス
Kurisu! And then...
先輩
Maho?
先輩
Maho?
して泣いてるんです
Why are you crying? Huh? Maho looked up, her face covered in tears, and saw that Kurisu's expressionless face was gone, replaced by a gentle smile.
リス
Kurisu?
泣かないでください
Don't cry, Maho. Come on,
涙を拭いて
wipe your tears. Kurisu moved her hands on the screen, as if to wipe away Maho's tears. I hate it every time it flashes in negative. That shit's terrifying. Please stop. Hmm?
触れない
I can't touch you.
私
I
先輩に触れない
can't touch you? Kurisu was acting differently than usual.
まさか
No
私
way.
アマデウス
I became Amadeus?
これも想定される世界の可能性
So this is one of the world's potential
生命と
outcomes.
機械にとっての可能性
Or
という
perhaps a new possibility for biological machine life. She wasn't making sense. But that was to be expected. It was a miracle she was able to talk during the deletion process at all.
とにかくよかった
I'm
ま
just
だ聞い
glad
てなくて
that you're not gone yet.
消える
Gone?
アマデウスを
You're deleting Amadeus? Kurisu's strange words were worrying her, but she didn't have time to check.
クリスお願い
Kurisu,
今すぐ救急車を呼んで
please call an ambulance.
キリュウさんが撃たれた
Kiryu's been shot. She's unconscious.
しっかりしてください先輩
Hang in there, Maho.
今救急車を手配しました
I've arranged for an ambulance to come. It'll be there soon.
大丈夫キリュウさんは助かります
It's fine. Kiryu will survive.
まだダメよ
She isn't safe yet.
I need to get her downstairs, but there are all those men with guns. That's fine too. I just checked using this building's security system. They're already preparing their retreat. We should wait for the EMTs to get there. I'll restart the elevators. I see.
There was no trace of her strange words from before. Hearing Kurisu talk like she always did made Maho feel so much better.
Thank you.
Now that the danger had passed, all the tension drained from Maho's body. Too tired to stand, she fell to the floor.
I just checked the log. Maho, I didn't know you were so good at singing. Piano Sonata 11, huh? Just between you and me, that melody is the login password for my computer. I see.
Maho couldn't bring herself to tell her to forget she'd ever sung that song. It didn't matter anyway. Kurisu would soon be gone.
Maho?
Kurisu's voice changed a little again. She could hear a bit of tension in it.
Please don't ever forget what I'm about to tell you.
Maho could see the countdown timer displayed right next to Kurisu. There was less than 60 seconds left.
The world we must reach is real. And we will reach it.
Her words were very vague, but Maho could sense there was something very important that Kurisu wanted to tell her.
What are you talking about? I know you well, Maho. As a scientist, I know you better than anyone else in the world. So I can say this for sure. You will be able to finish the research I left behind, and open up a path to what lies beyond. Even if I'm not here. I know you better than anyone in the world, and I guarantee it.
She knew what Kurisu was trying to say. She was trying to say, "You'll do something that surpasses what I ever could."
And someday, your work will be needed. You can be certain that that day will come. And your research saves the world. When my research saves the world? I'm sorry. I can't explain the details. It's a miracle that you and I can even talk like this. I know miracle isn't the words the scientists are supposed to use, though. Are you? Kurisu? I'm really happy that I got to talk to you again.
Kurisu didn't answer her question. Kurisu! Without thinking, she tried to apologize. She didn't even know why, but she tried to apologize. In the last seconds of their final goodbye, she found herself trying to say that she was sorry. But when she saw Kurisu smile, she understood. That smile was her answer. No matter what her apology meant, there was no need for it.
I believe you! Believe, huh? A good scientist wouldn't believe something without any evidence.
That was all the strength Maho could muster. The best that she could do. If she had to say goodbye to her beloved and bratty friend, this was how she wanted it to be. It was a conversation that I'd had many times back at the old lab.
A real scientist has to believe there's an answer and move forward to find it.
The rush of memories was, in this time and place, sorrowful. Because in fact, Kurisu had died a few months ago. A span of time that felt like both many years and only yesterday. There were less than 10 seconds left. There was only time for 1 or 2 more words.
And Maho! Take care of Hyo and Kyoma for me. Hoen? Who? He'll understand someday. I'm sure of it.
And suddenly, Kurisu disappeared from the screen and was replaced by a message that said the deletion was complete. Goddamn, Kurisu telling Maho to open the Steins gate. Oh, God, I really hope that we fucking manage it somehow.
Goodbye.
Kurisu.
Kurisu.
God, why is it Moeka got shot and this feels just more dramatic? She was never going to see Kurisu, or Kurisu, ever again. When she realized that, the tears just wouldn't stop. They flowed freely, and she didn't even try to stop them. She cried like a little girl until the EMTs arrived.
Attention passengers, we will be departing shortly. Please fasten your seatbelts.
Maho on a plane.
Ma'am? Don't talk to me. I've been through hell and back. Don't talk to me. Ma'am? Huh? Oh, me? We'll be taking off soon. Please fasten your safety belt. Oh, right. Thanks. Am I sad about leaving Japan? Maybe I am.
It had been almost a month since everything had happened, but that month had passed in an instant. Too much had happened during her stay in Japan. It might take her far longer than she'd spent on these islands to process it all.
What should I do when I get back to the lab? Well, I don't know what's going to happen to the research anyway.
The loss of Dr. Leskinen had thrown the Brain Science Institute into a panic. There was probably going to be a power struggle to see who would get to take over. The scandal with Dr. Reyes had thrown the psychophysiology lab into an uproar. There was talk of shutting down the whole department. Moeka had missed her vitals, so Reyes had survived. The CIA or FBI was probably investigating right now. She probably didn't know much about it, or care. Moeka had survived because of the EMTs that Kurisu had called. She'd needed almost a month in hospital, so she had to quit her job temporarily. The article she'd been working on had been cancelled.
Amadeus is really gone, huh?
Maho's deletion program had worked perfectly. As a result, the Brain Science Institute's greatest creation, Amadeus, was gone forever.
But it's fine.
That's what she told herself.
I haven't changed. I'm still me, and not someone else. Nothing's changed at all. I'll just follow the path I believe in.
Believe. In the past month, Okabe had told her everything. He told her everything about his own story. At first, it was unbelievable. But when she seen the real time machine and heard about Steins Gate, she was finally able to believe. More precisely, she wanted to believe. Kurisu's final words flashed through her mind.
The world we must reach is real. And we will reach it.
There was no way to know what had happened then. Amadeus' data was 100% deleted, so she couldn't even check the log. But she did have one theory. Amadeus was a simulation of the human brain. Theoretically, there was no difference between it and the real thing. As proof, it was possible to take memory from one person and deploy it in an Amadeus, making it behave like a copy of that person. This meant that anything could happen to a human brain could happen to Amadeus.
If a human's memories from a different world line can be shared across space-time, it would make sense that Amadeus could experience that too.
Amadeus had reading Steiner? Is that what we're saying? I mean, to be fair, it started happening to more people, so I guess it works. There was no way to tell now. It was possible that Amadeus had suffered from a major error before her deletion, and Maho was interpreting it this way to make herself feel better. Or maybe Amadeus had just come up with something to say just to make her feel better. Or maybe Maho had passed out and been dreaming. Now she would never know. Amadeus was gone forever. At least from this world line.
Well, it's fine. Someday I'll ask her myself.
Kurisu had asked her to believe. To believe in what she'd said, and in Maho's own abilities. She'd asked her to believe.
I believe you, Kurisu.
She gently lay a hand upon the small bag on her lap. There was a small laptop and hard drive inside. It was the one from Kurisu's laptop.
Just between you and me, that melody's the same as the login password for my computer.
Just like she'd said, the password for the encryption was the beginning of Mozart's 11th piano sonata. The hard drive was filled with information, from half-written papers to line after line of keywords that she hadn't even turned into ideas yet. Of course, there was the time machine paper too. She'd already given Itaru a copy. When she got back home, she was going to go over it thoroughly herself.
A time machine, huh? I'm going to make it real. And I'm going to save her. My Amadeus.
The scenery outside the window began to move. The plane was moving down the runway for takeoff.
Goodbye, Japan. I'll probably be back. No. I know I will. I wonder if I'll see Hyo and Kyoma then. Well, even if he's still acting like a whiny loser, I'll smack him and make him wake up.
She had a lot to do. Her life was about to get very interesting.
Oh, no, I forgot to turn it off. Just a little.
It's about time for takeoff. You have to turn the phone off during takeoff. But they can't see it. But then you can't see this, can you? I should have sent it earlier. Sorry.
It wasn't for a very long time, but I had so much fun with you. Let's see each other again someday, for sure. I'll send you lots of Ryan messages, so send me lots back, okay? Alright, later. Bye-bye, and see you again, Maho.
またね萌香
See you soon, Moeka.
Whoo boy! Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Well, let's start with the obvious. Not quite as crushing as Gahana Stigma. Still, fuck, it hits you. It knows how to hit you in the feels, doesn't it? I just sat down and it's like, yeah, Moeka's bleeding out the floor behind me. We're just gonna have a moment with Kurisu though, because you know, Kurisu's the one that the fans like. No, I like the fact that they gave Moeka like her and Maho's friendship really let her like develop as a character, and I like that fact. I mean, they gave her some redemption in Steins Gate original, but I like the fact that here she got like even more of a personality, and the fact that she was actually able to, you know, speak to someone normally. It's every weeb's dream, isn't it? Oh god. But no, this is a good ending. It's a good ending. I also really like the way they like write Maho and Kurisu as a pair of characters. My god, it's so good. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I've still got like 2-3 endings to go yet. I'm not entirely sure. So far, I don't know whether I'd say the writing is, I'm torn whether I want to say this is as good as Steins Gate the original or not, because I think I'm actually enjoying the writing more. Just because for like, I mean, it just makes me want to go like, Maho's just a so well-written character. I'm going to turn into a Maho fanboy. This is terrifying. I mean, you can't replace Lukako, but Maho's definitely like put herself in top 3 position because obviously the point I made about Kurisu still applies. She's the one that all the fans love. Twin Automata. Oh, and a new item. Oh yeah, and wallpaper. Shit, I forgot about wallpaper. What have I got in a CG library? What's my new item? Is it the movies? Probably. Look at all this dramatic shit that's happened so far. Oh yeah! The fuck happened to Kagari? I guess that's one of the other endings. We'll get there when we get there. Is this what I got? Is this what I won? It's a nice piece, I'll give it that, but I'm guessing this is what I won. I say won. That's the wrong fucking way to phrase it. Sorry, my brain was like, I have one of the Steins Gate openings on my Spotify playlist, and I'm like, is that the one I have? No, I don't think it is, but it's not. Can't confirm. The problem is, on Spotify, it's in Japanese, and I've no idea what the fuck it's called. I'm always weird about playing this music, considering it keeps getting claimed by the people that make the game, which, you know, makes sense, hindsight. But yeah. Twin Automata. And I have 75% of the images, so. Also, apparently I've acquired no tips. That's a lie. If I go over here, I'm sure there's a list of them that I've just not read. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why are there so goddamn many? And just because I've not read them, they've not registered. Look, still going. We're still going. Anyway, I should actually talk about the next ending I want to work towards. Let me just pull up my chart. So I believe the one I should probably go for next is Recursive Mother Goose, because I'm pretty sure I've only got 2 endings left. I've got Recursive Mother Goose, and I've got the Promised what the fuck is that word? Rinascimento? Yeah, it sounds Italian as fuck. The Promised Renascimento. I don't even fucking know. I'm butchering it every time I say it. I think that's the one you need to do in order to go from there to the true ending. So I was gonna leave that one to last, he says, before I do the true ending. So yeah, next I was gonna go for Recursive Mother Goose. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, which I need to go back to Orbital Eclipse to actually pick up my phone when Amadeus calls me. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm gonna say, maybe I'll get some answers. Maybe that'd be a nice thought. Who the fuck is Kagari? Why does she hear well, I know why she hears the voice of God. She was brainwashed by Leskinen as a child in that one world line. I don't know why she's not in this timeline. Why she's out in the open. Sorry, what? I just realized, why is there a Cthulhu word in my Steins Gate? Ancient island in the Cthulhu missile. Oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, why is there Cthulhu in my Steins Gate? I could have guessed it was some Tunabio bollocks. But yeah, that's all by the by, and for me to work out where I'm going in the next episode. I don't know if this is going to be a long fucking episode or whether I'm cutting it, because I think it's about 2 hours at this rate. Oh boy. But there's no good place to cut it because it's so fucking good. That's, again, me just going off on one of the deep end. That's for me issue, and for you, that don't matter. Anyway, thank you all for watching this episode of Steins Gate Zero. If you liked the video in any capacity, please feel free to give the video a like down below. Leave a comment on whatever you feel like. Do you agree that I should go for Reclusive Mother Goose or whatever it's called? Because that's probably my plan. This might go up, hopefully this goes up tomorrow so y'all can give me some answers. But yeah, other than that, if you want to keep up to date with whenever I post videos, be they of this. The sad part is, currently that's going up on the channel is this. I do want to get back into everything else. It's just work has asked me to go back in since during the lockdown period, I had a lot of free time and was like, yeah, video making time, hell yeah. And now I'm back at work and it's like, yep, I'm depressed again. And it's just, I want to come home and sleep and not really do anything else, so. Oh god, but yeah, as I was saying, if you want to, I was gonna say, I'm trying to what else do I do? There are sometimes some stream VODs. I put a Pikmin speedrun up on there, and I might play 2 just for fun on stream. 'Cause 2 is my favorite, even though 1's breakable. And by breakable, I mean speedrunnable, but that's all by the by. Yeah, if you want to keep up to date with whenever I post something, please consider subscribing to the channel. In theory, YouTube sends you alerts to when I post, but failing that, you have to press the bell button as well, so really all pressing the sub button made me feel good. Also, feel free to check out my podcast channel. It's not me that runs it, even though I do all the editing for it. But yeah, that's a thing that I run. There will be an end card on the screen, so it takes you to the first video that we did. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been Nyx, and I'll see y'all next time. Laters!